Lost deep in the forest, hundreds of miles from any city, this young survivor of the war in Ukraine is looking for safety. He decides to build a secret shelter right into this cliff face where no one will ever find him. The catch? He doesn't have a single modern tool on him. He dives into this adventure, completely unaware of the brutal difficulties waiting for him. After 10 days of hiking, our guy finally found the perfect spot. It's high up, it's treacherous, and frankly, it looks impossible to access. To get up there, he has no choice. He has to improvise. First, he goes back down to find some sturdy wood. With just his tiny handsaw, he doesn't just cut beams, he meticulously carves his own wooden nails from hard wood. This is crucial. Without rope or metal, he has to assemble the entire ladder using friction and pegs. He gets to work immediately. Every hole is drilled by hand. Every peg is hammered in with a stone. This structure has to be fail-proof. He doesn't know it yet, but every rung he attaches brings him closer to a brutal physical challenge. Once at the top, no guessing games. He plants a pivot point and uses his rope like a giant compass. It's an old builder's trick, simple but unbeatable. It guarantees a perfect circle on the first try, no laser or tape measure needed. Now the fun is over, it's time to attack the rock. Forget your Sunday gardening. Here he has to tear out tons of compact stone and heavy earth, pickaxe swing after pickaxe swing. Look at this sight. He's not just digging a hole, he's already carving the furniture and his future bed right into the mass. It's a titanic job that would have already broken anyone else's back. The main structure is there, but the sun is starting to set. He knows he'll have to eat inside soon, but without a chimney, the smoke would chase him out in 2 minutes. So he starts a quick fire to harden a charred branch that he sharpens into a spike. Armed with this improvised pick, he climbs up to pierce the start of the exhaust vent in the ceiling. He'll finish it later because he has a priority on the ground. He now tackles digging out his sleeping area. Watch closely. He isn't making a flat hole. He's carving very precise connected trenches. This is the heart of his future system. These empty channels will serve to circulate hot air directly under his stone mattress. The floor is ready, and that's where he shows a pro reflex. Instead of working on the ground and destroying his back, a classic rookie mistake, he takes the time to build himself a real custom-made workbench. Look at that, it's solid. This isn't wasted time, it's vital. Working standing up is the only way to be precise without burning out. It's thanks to this comfort that he'll last 30 days without cracking physically. The workshop is open, time for precision. No pencil, he improvises with a piece of cold charcoal. He blackens specific areas on the wood. It looks like scribbles, but it's technical drawing down to the millimeter. Then he whips out his saw and hollows out the black zones with the patience of a saint. He's carving complex notches. All this wood is soon going to lock together like giant Legos, solid as a rock, without needing a single nail. No time to lose. The clay won't wait. He rushes to the river for water. Here it's all about chemical balance to turn common dirt into concrete like walls. Watch his little secret trick. He slides small branches into the center of the molds before pouring the liquid mud. It's simple, but it's exactly the principle of reinforced concrete. If he skipped this crucial step, or used a little too much water, his bricks would burst as soon as they dried, and the whole wall would collapse on him before the end of the week. While that dries, he plays acrobat outside, suspended over the dizzying void to take care of the vital point, the chimney. He builds the outlet right onto the cliff. See that strange scale-like shape? That's not for looks or style. It's vital. It's so the violent tropical rain slides directly off without eating away the raw earth. Here there is no room for error. If the duct is messed up, the smoke will stay trapped inside, and his shelter will become a death trap in just a few minutes. He starts by installing the clay bricks to build his stove. He immediately lights a test fire, and miracle, the smoke exhausts perfectly through the exterior chimney. This is where we go from a simple survival shelter to pure genius. Watch closely, because what he is preparing now is a technical feat.
You were wondering why he dug those weird trenches under the bed? Here's the answer. He uses them to create an independent thermal cavity under his sleeping area. He's basically reinventing Roman underfloor heating, nothing less. But to stay warm all night without getting up, he needs batteries. He brings back these blocks of black stone, probably granite or basalt. The choice isn't random. These stones hold heat like crazy and radiate it for hours, even long after the fire is out. He seals everything with clay with the precision of a maniac. It has to be 100% airtight. He wants to capture the heat, not poison himself with carbon monoxide. Once closed, it's no longer a bed. It's a giant radiator that will guarantee him a comfortable night even if the temperature drops. Okay, masonry break. The human body has limits and his stomach is screaming. He leaves the site to go grocery shopping in the forest. The jungle isn't just building materials, it's also a free supermarket if you keep your eyes open. He digs up roots full of starch, exactly what he needs to recharge. Back at camp at nightfall, he improvises as a chef by the firelight. He mashes his cooked tubers to make a sort of pizza dough that he sears in the pan. A little tomato, fresh herbs. Honestly, all alone in his dark, damp cave, this hot dish tastes like a gourmet feast. It's this small moment of simple happiness that will boost his morale for what's next. Before sleeping, the moment of truth. He starts the machine by pushing glowing embers under his stone bed. No risk, everything is hermetically sealed, just a gentle heat rising to warm his back. The result? He wakes up warm, fresh as a daisy, with his little tea to restart the engine.
He heads right back out hunting in the dense forest, but this time he ignores the usual big trunks. He sets his sights on very specific barks and very dry dead wood. Back at camp, he starts an incredibly intense fire. Careful, don't be fooled. The goal here is absolutely not to get warm. He wants to totally calcine the material to get a pure white substance, noble wood ash. This is his white gold. But he hits a major technical problem. This raw ash is full of debris. He absolutely has to filter it, but he doesn't have a sieve in his bag. No matter, he's going to build one from scratch. Look at this patience. He selects fine, flexible twigs that he weaves patiently, one by one, onto an improvised wooden frame. It's pure DIY genius. In a few minutes of concentrated effort, he has created a high-precision filter. He then pours the cooled residue from the fire through his invention. This step is critical. He must eliminate every tiny piece of black charcoal or impurity to keep only the white dust, fine and volatile like flour. The process is long, it's tedious, it's repetitive, but he doesn't give up because the future strength of his house depends on it. Once this immaculate powder is obtained, he mixes it with a tiny bit of water to form compact spheres that he lines up near the residual heat of the hearth. Why? To totally dehydrate them and chemically stabilize them before the big final reaction. It's methodical preparation worthy of a chemistry lab. The alchemy moment has finally arrived. He crushes his precious white ash spheres and mixes them intimately with a large quantity of freshly sifted clay. This mix isn't random, it's pure science. The ash acts here as a powerful chemical binder on the earth. Once wet, this creates a true primitive cement, infinitely harder, smoother, and more resistant to erosion than clay alone. He then tackles plastering the entire cave. With his bare hands, he coats every square inch of his dwelling, the rough walls, the floor, and even the outline of the heating bed. Watch the visual transformation. The dark cave becomes bright and clean. This gray layer will soon harden like stone, glazing his shelter for years. The walls are dry, hard as rock. Time to dress all that up. Our builder brings back an impressive stock of green wood. But look at his method. He doesn't nail anything randomly. He thinks it through. He transforms his workshop into a prefabrication factory. He doesn't work with raw wood. He patiently splits and squares every trunk to get real flat planks. With his saw and his charcoal, he draws and cuts deep notches on every plank. It's a technique close to Japanese joinery to avoid using nails. To us, it just looks like a pile of loose wood, a giant exploded puzzle on the ground. But in his head, everything is clear. Every piece has its place. It's a job of patience, but you'll see when it comes time to assemble, it's going to go incredibly fast. Everything is cut, ready to use, but he is missing vital protection against the ambient humidity.
So he goes back out to the forest for a very specific harvest. He starts by cutting into the bark of certain trees to collect big chunks of hardened resin. Then he picks these weird flowers that look like brooms. It's not for decoration. He's going to extract an indispensable natural varnish.
Before he can assemble a single plank, a chemical protection step is indispensable. Otherwise, all this work will be for nothing. But to paint, he needs equipment. He starts with the container. He selects a thick log and patiently hollows out the inside with his gouge to make a deep, watertight wooden cup. Then he makes his application tool. He gathers the plant fibers he carefully sorted, trims them, and ties them firmly onto a handle to create a sturdy artisanal brush. Then, time for cooking. He melts the resin over the fire until he gets a golden liquid. This isn't decor, it's survival varnish. He slathers the burning mixture onto every plank to glaze them. It's mandatory. Without this, the humidity would make everything rot in 2 weeks. He doesn't miss a single corner. The slightest weakness would be fatal. Once the varnish is perfectly dry and hard, the great assembly can finally begin. He gathers all the pieces of his giant puzzle scattered on the floor and tackles mounting the interior partitions. This is where his plan comes to life. He doesn't just place the wood, he literally weaves it. The planks lock into each other thanks to the notches, creating a massive and uniform wall structure. He reinforces strategic tension points with wooden nails to guarantee absolute rigidity over time. Little by little, the cold, gray, hostile rock disappears behind this warm wooden siding. The acoustics change, the smell changes. You forget you're at the bottom of a hole. It feels like a high-end mountain chalet now. But our friend hasn't finished surprising us. He tackles building a table using the same careful assembly technique as the walls. Once the tabletop and legs are done, he carves 2 small cylinders of dense wood, perfectly round. They look like wheels, and they are. He fixes them to the base of the table before inserting the whole thing into a hidden slot in the wall. Do you understand? He created a primitive roller system. The result is mind-blowing. The table slides silently to disappear entirely into the thickness of the partition when he doesn't need it. In such a small space, every inch is precious. This invention transforms a constraint into a futuristic retractable piece of furniture worthy of an interior architect. After such technical effort, fatigue hits him at once. The stomach takes command. He goes down to the river below for an express fishing session. Nature is kind tonight. He brings up enough for a real protein meal. Back at camp, he breaks in his new magic table. Grilled fish, spices, wood fire. There is nothing better for morale after 10 hours of intense work. It's time to enjoy the absolute silence of his shelter. A good night of restorative sleep, and the sun pierces the mist. A little hot tea to wake up sore muscles, and he has to get to it. He's still missing the essentials to close and secure the house. Now the goal is clear. He has to lock down this fortress while flooding the room with natural light. So he tackles creating a pivoting panoramic window. He starts by assembling a sturdy cross-shaped frame reminiscent of traditional windows, but here everything is fitted by hand without an industrial square. The major difficulty is the unevenness of the rock. Nothing is straight in a cave. So he has to carve every plank so it perfectly hugs the curves of the stone. Watch his genius trick for creating the rotation axis. He uses a simple piece of charcoal tied to the end of a string to trace the perfect vertical alignment between the floor and ceiling. It's high-level primitive geometry. Once the main frame is installed on its pivot, he still has to adjust the edges. He trims the excess wood sticking out towards the entrance so everything is clean. After a very short break to swallow some provisions and regain strength before nightfall, it's time to tackle the last weak point in security. The interior is protected from the elements, but there remains the critical access to the heated bed. He tackles making a special door for the bedroom, but careful, not a classic swinging door that would eat up all the living space inside when opening. He opts for a modern solution adapted to the jungle, a sliding door on rails. He takes his measurements with extreme precision, checking every angle. Then he patiently carves the tracks directly into the hard wood. Watch the fluidity of the movement. The door glides with the slightest effort to hermetically seal the sleeping zone.
It's the perfect marriage of maximum security, comfort, and space saving.
One big access problem remains: the ladder from the beginning. It was heavy, wobbly, and frankly dangerous to use every day. He decides to make a version 2.0. He takes dense wood and starts a complex assembly. Look at the wooden hinges he carves with patience. This isn't a classic ladder, it is articulated and entirely foldable. He reinforces everything with solid pegs. The strategic goal? To be able to fold it and pull it up with him at night. It's the ultimate security. Once the ladder is retracted, his house becomes a fortress perched in the void, inaccessible to predators. Security is assured. Now for the lighting. He gathers a few wood scraps to quickly assemble small custom square molds. He then pours the rest of his melted resin, still burning hot, into them. Look at the texture. As it cools, the liquid sets and becomes hard but translucent like amber. Once unmolded, he gets magnificent handmade candles. It's this luminous detail that will transform this dark cave into a warm cocoon for the night. The day is fading fast over the jungle. Twilight is setting in. To counter the approaching darkness, he lights his new resin lamps one by one. The light passes through the amber and floods the room with a golden, soothing glow. It's the long-awaited moment, the gala dinner. He brings out his most precious provisions: ground meat, a spice mix, and above all, a beautiful piece of cheese. He takes the time to prepare this with love. He shapes generous meatballs and hides a cube of cheese in the heart of each one. For cooking, you get this incredible technique. He doesn't put them on the fire, but in the ground. He uses the holes of his clay hearth like powerful little natural ovens. He then pours a creamy tomato sauce over top. It sizzles instantly on contact with the hot earth. The smell must be insane. You can see the steam rising, the sauce bubbling, and the cheese starting to melt and ooze out. After weeks of struggling in the mud and humidity, savoring this hot, rich, melting meal in this cocoon of light, it's more than a dinner, it's an absolute victory. Belly full, he pushes the embers under his bed. Outside, the jungle is hostile, but here he sleeps like a king in his invisible palace. He achieved the impossible. Thanks for following this adventure. See you very soon for a new project.